Today, I have another very scary story, kindly shared by a friend. I'll be reading, editing, and narrating it to you all. This story comes from Kun Han. Kun Han shared his experience as a housekeeper in a house where he encountered a terrifying event. If you're ready, let's delve into the story. This story takes us back about 10 years, to a time when Kun Han found himself unemployed. He had been working at a small factory in the Bang Na area. But after it shut down, he was unsure of what to do next. With limited education, finding a new job proved quite challenging. He wasn't familiar enough with the city to drive a taxi, having only moved to Bangkok a few years prior. One day, a former colleague from the factory called. He told Kun Han that he was now working as a gardener. His employer, who lived nearby, was looking for another gardener. Knowing that Kun Han was jobless, his friend recommended him for the position, suggesting he visit the house for a chat. Kun Han was thrilled upon hearing this. Based on the description, it didn't sound too strenuous, just maintaining the garden and ensuring the house's surroundings were in order. Moreover, it came with accommodation and 3 meals a day, making it even more appealing. The next morning, Kun Han eagerly made his way to the house. Upon arrival, he realized it was quite large, with a spacious garden to match. As he stood at the front gate, a maid emerged to open it. He explained he was there for the gardener interview. The maid led him into the house, where he met the homeowner. The homeowner explained that he had recently purchased a new house in another province and wouldn't be spending much time at this one. He sought someone to look after the property. The conversation flowed smoothly. The homeowner seemed friendly and approachable. After a while, he took Kun Han to see the bedroom, saying it would be his if he took the job. The bedroom was located at the back of the house. The homeowner explained that he needed someone to care for the garden, maintain the house's interior, and watch over it in his absence. A maid took care of the cleaning once a week. The homeowner asked Kun Han when he could start, and, eager to secure the job, Kun Han replied, "Tomorrow." So it was. Kun Han got the job and returned home overjoyed. He finally had work. The next morning, he moved his belongings into the house. The homeowner showed him the ropes, explaining his daily and future responsibilities and providing emergency contact information. As Kun Han listened, he realized the job was surprisingly light. It was more about being present at the house than anything else. After the briefing, the homeowner informed Kun Han that he would be leaving for the other province that day, granting him access to the bedroom and providing funds for food and living expenses. Kun Han felt incredibly fortunate to have landed this job. Everything seemed perfect. A kind homeowner and a comfortable job. As the homeowner departed that evening, Kun Han began his life in the house. The first night was quiet. As the sun set, the housing estate, being relatively small with only a few houses spaced far apart, grew eerily silent. After inspecting the house, Kun Han went to bed as usual. Let me describe Kun Han's room. Upon entering, a 5-foot bed faced the door. It wasn't a large room. To the left was the bathroom door, and to the right, a vanity table and wardrobe. Near the entrance, next to the door, was a window with louvered shutters. The room was well equipped, with air conditioning and all necessary amenities. Despite the comfort, a strange feeling kept Kun Han restless that night, though he eventually drifted off to sleep. However, he was jolted awake in the middle of the night by a loud noise, like someone dragging a rope against a pole. A creaking thud, thud, thud. Opening his eyes, he cautiously looked towards the louvered shutters, trying to make out any signs of intruders. The shadows from the moonlight filtering through the shutters made it difficult to see clearly. The sound gradually faded as Kun Han sat up. He decided to investigate, carefully creeping towards the shutters, peeking out after slowly opening the curtains. He scanned both left and right. Everything appeared normal. After observing for almost 5 minutes, convinced that nothing was amiss, he slowly turned back, intending to return to bed. Suddenly, Kun Han froze in terror. His eyes met a pair of feet directly in front of him. At eye level, trembling with fear, he slowly looked up, following the legs. That's when he encountered the horrifying sight of a man hanging from the water pipe above the ceiling. His eyes bulged, his tongue protruded, and he hung there lifelessly, paralyzed with fear. Kun Han could only stare, his body shaking uncontrollably. He was too terrified to move a muscle. Then, without warning, the hanging figure began to sway, intensifying Kun Han's terror. He could barely stand, unsure what he was witnessing. Suddenly, a voice whispered from beside him. "See." Kun Han blacked out. The next morning, sunlight stinging his eyes, he awoke on the floor. He was still in his room, but his pants were soaked with his own urine. The memory of the previous night's horror sent chills down his spine. Looking up at the spot where he had seen the hanging figure, he noticed that the ceiling panel remained closed, just as he had left it. He sat there for a moment, trying to process everything. Regaining his composure, he got up and went about his morning routine, showering and tending to the garden as usual. He decided to ask his neighbor, PA, about the house when he saw him later that day. As he worked, he kept glancing at the fence, waiting for PA to appear. Soon enough, PA came by and, noticing Kun Han's anxious expression, invited him over for a chat. Kun Han, visibly shaken, recounted his experience, asking if the house was haunted. PA listened patiently and revealed that Kun Han wasn't the first housekeeper to experience this. Several others had come and gone, usually lasting less than a week. Those who started close to a Buddhist holy day tended to leave even quicker. All of them reported the same terrifying encounter, a man hanging above their bed. PA explained that the man was the previous housekeeper. He had been with the homeowner for about 2 years. He had a girlfriend who also worked in the same house as a maid. They had a huge argument one day, and the girlfriend quit and moved out immediately. The housekeeper tried desperately to reconcile, but his efforts were futile. He soon learned that she had a new boyfriend. This sent him into a spiral of despair. He became increasingly withdrawn, unable to eat or sleep. One morning, the homeowner noticed the housekeeper hadn't shown up for work. Concerned, he went to check on him in his room, only to find him hanging lifelessly from the ceiling. Since then, every new housekeeper who stayed at the house, especially around Buddhist holy days, would encounter the same terrifying apparition, driving him away. Kun Han was devastated. The horrifying experience from the previous night continued to haunt him throughout the day. However, quitting meant unemployment and financial hardship. He decided to contact the homeowner and recount the entire ordeal. The homeowner listened impassively and apologized for not disclosing this information earlier. He explained that he had attempted to appease the spirits through religious ceremonies, but the housekeeper's ghost remained. Kun Han informed the homeowner that he would continue working there but requested to sleep elsewhere on Buddhist holy days. The homeowner agreed. From that day forward, Kun Han continued working at the house for 3 years without incident. He would always find alternative accommodation during Buddhist holy days. Eventually, the homeowner decided to sell the house, and Kun Han moved out. And that concludes the terrifying story shared by Kun Han. A big thank you to Kun Han for sharing this experience. If you have any scary stories you'd like to share, please send them to the email address below. Before we go, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more spooky tales. Thank you for watching and listening. See you in the next episode.